Should FDA ban trans fat? My answer is wholeheartedly no. When you look at what trans fat does, it fattens up America. It fattens up people. And what does fattening up people do? It leads to obesity. And when you think about obesity, what do you think of? You think of people who are insanely round. But these people, you would think that because they're so round and large, that they wouldn't be happy. But no, almost every time I see someone who is so round and large, they always have a huge smile on their face. It's almost as if these people who are so obese have discovered the secret to happiness. And because I believe that, I believe obesity is what will bring about world peace. When you look to that, all you have to look at is Pixar's film, WALL-E. You saw on the gigantic spaceship, everyone was happy. Everyone was talking with each other. No one fought. No one really even got into conflict because they were so fat, it was too tiresome. No one is going to wage wars because no one is strong enough to pick up a gun. No one is thin enough to actually be able to fit into a tank. War cannot be waged by fat people. And moving on, it's also obesity causes, it shortens the lifespan of people, so there's more oxygen in the world for other people to enjoy. So future generations won't have to resort to what the people in WALL-E did. They won't deplete all the oxygen in the earth so that they can actually enjoy what is there for a much longer extended period. Now, another benefit to obesity, and in this case trans fat, is it alleviates stress on the lower end of the economic spectrum's income. The people below the poverty threshold. Because when you go to a supermarket, when you're trying to buy organic foods, don't you spend an absorbent amount for something when you could just go to McDonald's and get a fully fledged meal for $1.99? Or you get a combo for $5.99 and satisfy your appetite for that small amount of money, whereas you have to exert energy to go to the supermarket, find all this food, purchase it, which is probably more than likely 5 times more expensive than the McDonald's combo meal. And then you have to go back home and then you have to prepare it. So why would you resort to something like that when you can just easily go for things such as McDonald's or Panda Express or anything like that, fast food? It is the option. It is the way that humanity should go towards. And of course, everything that I've listed so far does in fact contain trans fat. No questions asked. I mean, it's just a given. So, moving on to another benefit of FDA not banning trans fat and moving on to the obesity is a good thing. It solves pollution because the weight of people would exceed the maximum weight possible for cars. And the cars would not be able to run. They would just break, sit there, and not be used. So people would, if they even managed to get outside and go to their job, and get into public transportation. So there would be less pollution, which is, in fact, a benefit for all of humanity. Another benefit is it boosts the economy because places such as McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's would have a monopoly on the food market. So instead of all this money and subsidies being put on for farmers to grow organic food, all they would have to do is just grow whatever these companies need to make all this fast food. And that in turn would allow for less competition and everyone end up getting jobs because as we see, McDonald's is probably one of the largest employers of anyone. Now, this clearly puts into perspective what a utopia is. No war, no conflict, everyone's happy. And I honestly believe that is what it is. And everything I've told you here today, was gathered from these sources, the McTeer files and the Tash Book Organization. I'd like to thank my judge for his time today.